What is up, Collectin and Connectin fam? We are back with episode 70. I'm one of your hosts, Banana Bank Mac, joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Tork. How are you today?
Best day of my life. I'm here with y'all. It's a pleasure to be here. Stoked to be here.
That's what we like to hear. Next up, we have the man who saves us all, our mayor, Treat.
Just here to serve the people. That's it.
And our special job. Oh, yeah. And our special guest today is, I believe, the most popular episode. You kicked me right off that number one spot. Our buddy, Matt. How are you today?
Let's do it. Happy to be here. Like Tork said, best day of my life.
We're so happy to have you back. Yes. Are you ready for preseason basketball?
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm happy to talk to you all. There's not many people in my immediate life that love talking to me about basketball and Top Shot, but happy for today.
Yeah, you're in the right space.
Exactly. Yes. I can tell by your Quickly jersey. Pretty cool.
Oh, which way am I going to go? Yeah, I love it. Honestly, I'm so stoked we got him as a Raptor. Same with RJ Barrett. I know we're in rebuild, but I'm beyond happy with how my team's looking.
Quickly had so much hype when Top Shot was ascending. He had his 4K rookie, and there weren't any moments for him. So Knicks fans were on Twitter saying, "Oh, I can't wait! I'll pay anything for a Quickly moment," and they did. Right, like that moment was $1,000 or $1,500. I like him as a player. I kind of always have. I have a few of his 40Ks, I believe, from season 2.
Is he a move the needle kind of player for you though? I mean, he's a good player, but is he going to be superstar, franchise player?
I mean, we could probably talk about that kind of stuff for 2 hours alone. How do you define that, right? Personally, I define superstar needle mover as a player that can carry his team to maybe 50 games, 50 wins, or maybe let's redefine that. Maybe a superstar is a player that can carry his team, a not so great team, at least through a round of the playoffs, right? Where it's all pretty clear that they won that series because of that guy. How many of those guys are there? What do you guys think? 10?
Well, that's a good question.
I don't know.
It's getting really philosophical in here, guys.
Now, and you have to include sometimes players have a run, right? It's not sustained over years, but for one playoff or whatever, they become something completely different. So I'd maybe 15 or 20 that but 10 that can just freaking do it year in, year out. If that makes sense?
Yeah, but who have we seen that's carried a team that we've later come to realize, okay, maybe he wasn't so great? Because I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, although we haven't given it too much collective thought.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
No one off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, because if you can carry a team, you're usually pretty damn good, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, let's just name the guys. Steph, Durant, LeBron, Luka, Jokic, Giannis.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell can win your team a playoff series.
There's a good example right there, but maybe not quite in the upper echelon like the Lukas and the Jokic's.
Or Kawhi when he was healthy, right?
Shea. I think Shea's going to be that guy.
Does Ant fit into that category?
See, I'd say yes to Ant, but maybe because he's so young. I don't know.
I would say yes. Ja Morant can. We saw him do it in the playoffs.
Yep.
Same with Shea, SGA. I think same deal.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good call. Embiid's a good call, and Celtics fans are watching this and thinking, "Come on, So Tatum, yes.
I was going to say Jaylen Brown, but not Tatum.
We're just a team, man. Yeah. We're more of a team of dominance across the board. I mean, I think that Jason and Jaylen have been such a tandem. It's kind of hard in my mind to say either one of them carried. They would have their moments, right?
Well, didn't that play a part of him not playing in the Olympics, Tatum? He didn't even get minutes, right?
Yeah.
Are we gonna call that out? Is this like a?
I think it's
because
we embarrassed him. We embarrassed him and we embarrassed Steve Kerr and his Warriors by beating them by 80.
Y'all are petty if that's the case.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's a microcosm of, I mean, minus Jaylen Brown, of course, my humble opinion. The way that it played out for the Celtics who played on the Olympic team, that was a microcosm of the Celtics season because who really won y'all that championship?
Drew.
Was it Tatum? Tatum played his role, but I think it was Derek White and Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday he's the most underrated player in the league. That guy is a great player.
Yep.
The fact that his legendary is like $100, if not lower than that, that's insane to me.
Yeah,
that's
one of the moments that I'll probably still never own. It was the steal. I think they credit him with the steal, but it's a Drew steal in the finals against Phoenix, and he throws it up to Giannis, where Chris Paul tries to run and take out Giannis's legs, and it's like, man, maybe I really shouldn't probably try to hurt this dude, and Giannis dunks on him anyway.
Yeah,
can't stand Chris
Paul. That's one of the best moments on Top Shot.
One of the best moments on Top Shot, hands down.
Yep. I mean,
one of the best plays I've ever seen in a basketball game, much less an NBA Finals game.
And he was the difference in that Pacers series that was so tough. I mean, those guys played us better than anybody. I mean, his grit and calm and defensive ability was just, I mean, I got so much respect for that guy.
Yeah, he was my PFP. I don't know if you guys remember for a while, for like a year. It was Drew.
Yeah.
I removed it when they played my home team, the Cavs, in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
But as to the Celtics, it's kind of like a rite of passage league, the NBA, right? Like you grind, and they got there. So.
Speaking of grind, I mean, your Cavs, I feel like they take steps forward, and we all start thinking, hey, man, this is their year. They've got young talent. Are they going to come together? I mean, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm happy we kept Mitchell. I like Evan Mobley. I think like we all did early on, and then we realized offensively he's kind of a dud, especially when it counts. We were just talking about like difference makers that can win you a series because they're such an offensive threat where they can get you 50 points a game, like Murray did a couple of years ago, like Mitchell did. What's Mobley going to get you when it counts? He can't even create any sort of shot or a shot for someone else. But his defense is great. We still have Garland. I've always liked Garland. He's like a smaller guard who isn't great defensively, but he's really smart and he's a pretty good shooter and he understands the game well. Kevin Durant used to love him. I don't know if you guys remember, but they when the players were drafting their own all-star teams, like KD was so pumped to get Garland on his team, and he thought like, he was acting like he should be your favorite player kind of thing. I remember that more because I'm a Cavs fan, right? Like, Garland really got his respect. So Garland, Mitchell, who else do we have? We still have Karis. Karis, what'd you say, Nicole?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
I think he's phenomenal.
The nicest guy in the NBA.
I mean, it feels like that was
scientifically proven the nicest guy in the NBA.
It feels like his injury was what allowed the Celtics to have such an easy road. Like even Mobley was not injured. I felt like Allen was when we're talking about the difference maker. Like he's that guy, in my opinion. On that
team. He's not. Allen isn't that guy. Allen's good.
I'm talking about the guy that's the difference maker that kind of gets you over the hump with your talent that's already there.
Yeah. I love him. I just bought his all-star game moment, and I actually watched the moments. It's such a cool moment. It's him blocking Embiid. It's from the 2022 All-Star game. Yep. Embiid's trying to body him in the post, and it's an all-star game, so you would think like Allen would just let him have it, especially with how big Embiid is. And Embiid gives him a couple shoulders, and Allen blocks his shot. It blocks his dunk at the rim. I thought that was kind of a cool moment for an all-star game that Allen was trying hard enough. And, good call, Nicole. We still have Jared Allen, and like Chris said, it was unfortunate we didn't have him versus the Celtics because those are two tall guys that are tough to score on when they're playing well together, him and Mobley.
Yeah.
I watched the Cavs live last year, and, it was pretty freaking unreal. I'm not going to lie to you. I looked at a team, and I was like, I see so much potential here. I went on and started buying rares and stuff for Fast Break. I was on it. I was like, these guys are good. I think you guys have potential to go far this year.
Are you guys playing fast break right now? You know, there's a game going right now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I was
Boston.
actually just checking the box score now that you mentioned it.
Boston, Denver. I didn't know like who was going to play. I didn't know how to fill out my lineup, which kind of makes it fun because you can go for the top 5 spots and just try and hit a unique lineup.
You're like,
I messed mine up real bad based on who's playing. I went for all the bench guys. I was like, they're not going to play any of the regular people, and they're playing all the regular people.
Yeah, Tatum has 12. Yeah, Jaylen Brown has 8.
I didn't know who to go for either.
Quick question for you, Matt. It's that time. I know you're a Cleveland guy. Are you a Guardians fan as well? And if so, how are we feeling right about now?
I'm excited, but I grew up watching the Tribe. I mean, I can give you every play. You know, Albert Bell, Omar Vizquel, Carlos Baerga, Kenny Lofton, Jim Tomei, you know, Sandy Alomar, Roberto Alomar. I could name, not that anybody cares about the Indians from the 90s, so I'll stop there.
Mitch Wild thing on.
I used to love baseball. I grew up playing a little bit, was never good, always watched it. And just for the past like 10 years, I haven't kept up with it as much. I'm still pretty much all in on football and basketball. I always have been since I was a kid, but no, Tork, I'm not like super pumped, although I know they have a good team in the playoffs just started. So I'll definitely be watching because, you know, as everyone knows, playoff baseball is much different. But, man, baseball does not get much publicity, right? Like, we don't see it.
Nope.
It's just helping me get through the offseason. And so it's been a crutch for me, and I appreciate that about the playoff baseball, even though my Rangers aren't in it. But I got family in Ohio, so fun to see the Guardians doing what they do. Plus, shout out Rock Doggy. He's a big Guardians fan.
Yes, he is.
Big member of the community. Love
Good
Rock
dude.
Dog.
Good dude.
Gotta shout him out any chance I get.
Yep.
I'm unfortunately a Blue Jays fan, so it's been a real rough season for us. It did not help me get through the postseason. I think things like beta helped me more. Baseball wasn't.
Beta? What is this beta?
Yeah, Chris doesn't know anything about beta, Matt. You know anything about beta? I think they wait, hold on. Wait, Mac, didn't they just reveal the team this morning?
I just saw the whole list, and I believe there was a name on it.
Yep, that was the doxing event. I see event number 100.
So you're the mastermind behind beta.
You're pulling the strings?
No, I'm not pulling the strings, and I'm not the mastermind. I actually joined kind of later. I would always see like the events pop up, and I wouldn't participate. And the events are cool. Like the launch of the coin was fair. Like if you had top shot moments, you can get some. Like that's kind of what I don't want to say what everyone's looking for, but yeah, it's kind of an easy entry into a coin instead of having to like play the Solana meme coin game, which is fun too. But I feel like not every top shotter has like skin in the crypto game, and it kind of gives them that. Whereas some people, they don't want to buy Solana on Coinbase and then send it to their wallet and then go on Dex Screener and trade the different pairs. Like it's just a little bit too much for them. So this is kind of like an easy way for them to get just like their pound of flesh or whatever, and to have fun with crypto. But back to the main question. No, I was not the creator. Lewis Frampton, from the Utah Jazz. What is the Legends Club?
Yep.
Yeah, he's great. He's the operator. And I was watching his episode again, just to go through it briefly because he was the episode before mine. So I was looking at my last episode. I think it was episode 50. I was 57 and he was 56. And I was cracking up because Colton was so pumped to introduce Lewis to you guys. Like Lewis was going so hard about like his events and the Utah Jazz Legends Club and how he loves giveaways. And Colton's just smiling. He's like, I told you guys. Like someone brought like their friend who's good at basketball to a game, and the guy's like, I told you, like he's so good. But yeah, L. Frampton's the main guy behind it. I kind of was onboarded late, but it's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's very cool. I mean, I onboarded like to actually join events. I think around the halfway mark, if not later than that. Like I actually regret not going back and starting way earlier, and I'd see it. I just had no clue what was going on, and you're wondering who's behind it, trying to figure that out, like the whole deal.
That's exactly where my head was at initially, because there's been a few different meme coins and I had no clue. But it's actually organized really well, and some cool things about it are its utility, right? Like everybody wants utility. Well, okay, it's not a coin where you just sit every day and look at the price. We play poker tournaments with the coin. We have a Discord with a sports betting channel. So I'm in there. It's just like peer-to-peer, gambling, which removes like the house edge. You don't have to pay a VIG when you're betting with one another. What else? There's a moment sales channel, so you can buy moments with beta.
There's a fast break league.
Yes, there's fast break competitions. So I just rattled off like 4 or 5 things that, hey, if you have this token, you can play, you can be involved with. So,
and I mean, even if you're not doing that, I actually swapped out a bunch of my beta, which helped me secure legendary. So even if you're not doing events in the actual Discord, just doing the Twitter events alone can earn you enough to get you moments.
Huh. I haven't done it. I'm going to have to do this beta thing. Check it out.
Why have you been reluctant, Chris? You just don't want to go through the process?
I just, I'm not reluctant. I guess I'm just lazy. I just was like, yeah, that looks cool, but I'm just still, if there's a possible thing to call me just an old school top shotter, I check out my wish list every day and see what's getting closer to what I want to buy and a price I can afford, and I buy it and I lock it. Like,
but you can be buying with
beta.
Yeah.
Stop it, man.
We were
it's
on
the ultimate Collectin and Connectin, Chris. It's just it's right up your alley. And once you do it, you kind of get hooked a little bit because you see it's not as difficult as you may think. And I know you're not thinking it's rocket science, but I'm pretty sure you were thinking kind of where my head was at. I was like, okay, what do I have to sign up for a new wallet on a new website, and you just didn't want to go through the steps. Once you realize it's simple, and once they send you, I guess the they, since we all know now is Lewis, sends you your reward, whatever you want to call it, your amount of beta for participating in the event, and you start seeing it every day, it just becomes kind of addicting. You're like, okay, what's today's event? Right? Like, and they weren't too difficult to participate in because I don't even have any legendaries. And I got to participate in most of them. So again, pretty fair launch. Easy.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say they did a lot between common, rare, and legendary. Like they tiered it for different rewards, which is what I liked.
Treat.
So
and then
I just need to find I just need to find beta on Twitter and do the next.
They're done now, Chris. The faucet's shut off. I'm gonna have to send you some as a treat.
Okay.
Pun intended, or anyway. Hey,
so
just
let me to be clear for anyone that's listening and has no clue what I'm talking about. We just ran about 100 events where if you participated in the events, you received an airdrop of beta tokens the next day. I personally keep all of mine in a I keep them in a vault, I guess you would call it. I stake them on increment. And you just have to have a Blockto wallet, and that's how it works. But if you participated in the events, you would get your tokens, and they're wrapping up those events. The 100th event was yesterday. I'm sure we're still going to do some fun stuff. But there's not going to be a guaranteed daily event anymore. Which is fine, because if you're thinking, oh, I can't believe I missed the train, think again. You can buy $100 worth and you're just fine. You don't have to slowly accumulate it. For those of you that have FOMO out there that are thinking again that you missed out. So
okay.
Beta's just in the beginning, right? Kind of like Top Shot. We're just in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and who's kidding who? It's all reliant on Top Shot. Like that's the common denominator here, right?
Yeah.
Even if some of us are critical of Top Shot, hey, it's been 4 years. We're still here. And I gave this whole pitch last time. One of the reasons I'm still here and still bullish are companies like yours, whatever you want to call it, podcasts like yours, ideas like Beta, Increment.fi, whatever the website's called, Floaty, Live Token. There's stuff being built on top of it, right? I posted yesterday, for as critical as I am of Top Shot, I sure do give them some some credit sometimes where it's due, where no one ever says things like that. No one's ever posted anything like I just posted yesterday. Not that I'm some sort of genius, but hey, most of the heroes from just last cycle, not the cycle before that, not 2012, just from last cycle, they've mostly folded. And Top Shot's still here. They're selling women's basketball highlights for $500. They still have, they're going to have, how many participants do you guys think in Fast Break? 5,000, 4,000?
Oh, at least 5, I would think.
I mean, 5,019, because that's our new onboard number, right? So all 19 of those people are playing with us. I think this year we could onboard a lot.
So those numbers are brutal. Yeah. Don't get me started, Nicole.
I know I'm bad. I can get
get him started. I love it.
Get him fired up. We need more hot takes on here.
All right, this isn't a hot take, but let me just kind of parlay the two things we're talking about. Being somewhat critical of Top Shot, and we were talking about Top Shot Beta. One of the events that Top Shot Beta had was if you had moments of 50-point games, game winners, or triple doubles. It's been 4 years. Top Shot has ran how many challenges so far? I don't know. 500, 1,000. Just show that you have a good grasp of the zeitgeist and shine the light on cool moments that players themselves would love to see. 50-point games, game winners. Why have they never ran a challenge that just says, hey, this challenge is having 5 different triple-double cards? That actually makes the collectors, us, look at the moments because they don't have a triple-double filter. Maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. But use the fact that they don't to their advantage, because then we all look at the moments, look at how many points the players had. Some people have never even done things. Some people probably don't even know the stats are on the page. So my long-winded point is Top Shot should be more in tune with the game of basketball and do things like that. And everyone's always saying, if you're going to be critical of them, have some at least constructive criticism. And I completely believe that. For as critical as I am, I didn't sue them. I didn't put pen to paper to get whatever that was back. Remember that? I'm sure you guys remember that. And I think the way I justify some of my criticism and don't think I'm as toxic as some of the rest is because I'm still buying every day and I do give them credit and I do sign people up. And if you're not involved and you're still critical of Top Shot, that's kind of crazy to me. Now, there's some of us, AG, he's a polarizing guy. Some people really don't like him. Some people like him a lot. He's always been really nice to me. And, I would give a guy like that a break just because he's been involved since day one. He still holds a bunch of flow tokens. Where am I going with this? Where I'm going is I don't understand why some people hate Top Shot so much and they're out of the game. They have no more skin in the game, but they're still just, and I guess I do understand. They're mad because they lost a lot. And I have a ton of empathy for that because that's why I get upset too. I've posted one too many times about the LeBron James 7,500s that have gone from $2,500 to $5. I think I have a good argument about all that, but that's another discussion. But yeah, if you're not buying moments anymore, it's like, all right, maybe now is the time to stop giving Top Shot such a hard time. They've heard it all at this point. If you're still in the streets grinding, okay, it's your account, it's your Twitter account, do whatever you want. Who am I to tell someone what to say about another company? But that's just my opinion.
I don't think there's anything wrong with any constructive criticism. I mean, but as you said, they've heard it all at this point, and what is it really helping unless you're bringing a solution to what you think is a problem? I don't know. I think we all know what we signed up for at this point. I just like the moments. I like talking basketball. I like being in the communities. I like being in the streets. And do I wish that they would do different things with the product? Sure. But man, me chiming in and joining the chorus of boos is not going to help. It's just not. And so,
but it has kind of started up for whoever was going to. The thing is, though, Tork, it's kind of nuanced because it does kind of help. Maybe they'll drop a pack for $7.99, and everyone drags them on Twitter and is toxic. Part of me thinks they've heard it all before, and then Top Shot drops the price by $300 for the next drop. Now, someone else might say, Matt, they didn't drop the price because you guys were complaining. They dropped the price because whatever the price of the packs on the secondary market weren't what they thought they would be. Not as many unique wallets tried to buy, whatever. I don't know what's true and what's not. I don't know what goes on under the hood there, right? But that's all I'm saying is that it is kind of like they didn't want to burn initially. It was kind of like an insult. Remember we talked about this last time, Chris? Like they were kind of like burn, like go burn your own stuff. Like we made these cool cards. Like we don't want to burn and we don't want to tell the players we're burning anything, you know. But like everyone kept burn, you know, and it's a big part of crypto. And now they're kind of like really leaning into burning. Sorry for that rant. I'm just saying sometimes the constructive criticism does help, but at the same time they have heard it all. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I think criticism's always a good thing. It's all the way that it comes out. Like honestly, when people get too whiny on my Twitter, I mute them. I'm not gonna lie to you because like if I say something negative on Top Shot, I'm pretty upset about it, truthfully, because I try to keep it on a positive light. Because the minute you shit on it, you're gonna see every fault. And like, I don't know, I started writing burns because it's what the people wanted. Everyone was like, we want to see burning happen. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's start it up, do it community based, and now Top Shot's involved in my burns. They always donate a legendary to them.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
That is
cool. And Roham too, right? He's now donating his moments.
Yeah, and I give him credit for that. I just want to see more, and I'm not a big Elon Musk fan, but we've all seen those like motivational videos with like the Friday Night Lights instrumental behind it, and Elon Musk's like, I was all in on Tesla. Like I was sleeping 4 hours a day, and I put all of my money into it, and if it failed, like that was it. I was broke. I don't know if you guys have seen those videos. They're all out there. Basically, Elon, again, saying he was all in with everything he had. And if Tesla didn't work, oh my God, like it would have crushed him. I just want more of that from Roham, right? Like, again, I don't know exactly what goes on under the hood there, but just I don't think that it's the case where Roham is just completely all in. And maybe he would counter with, buddy, that's not my job, right? So I don't want to get too deep into what goes on behind the scenes there because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either who's involved. I just feel like whoever's running the Top Shot Twitter, I would like a free 1 week trial to run it because I feel like we need a slight bit more community engagement. And like it doesn't have to come from Roham. Just coming from like the Top Shot and the brand itself matters. That's how I feel, at least.
If I had, the issue of being able to, you guys, this is our thing, collecting and connecting. I think if you connect people to a community that wants to talk basketball and enjoy the moments, they're going to stick around, right? That's part of my deal is the lack of connection to community organizations like ours that, hey, send these new I mean, I made a joke on Twitter about, hey, we got 19 new ones. Like we literally, if you send us a list of those 19, we got 19 people in our community that would like send them moments, right? Like if there may be an advantage to not having a whole lot of people sign up. Maybe we can really take care of those 19 and connect them to other collectors so they'll stick around.
I mean,
but there just always seems to be like, I mean, I'm excited for Samuel D. It's like they either hire you or they don't know what to do with you. That kind of thing, as far as how they could mobilize us to help them get people connected to the community.
Or maybe their assumption is that it's completely on us and we're supposed to take it and run with it without their support necessarily. That's kind of how it feels more often than not. It's just like, well, guys, here it is. You guys got it now. I see what you're doing. We really appreciate it, but you're on your own. Not that they don't support ever, but it just kind of feels like that's kind of their impression. It's like, well, why aren't you guys doing more with this then? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
From my like personal experience, it was the community tagging Top Shot in my tweets and tagging Roham that it was like they tagged enough that you couldn't ignore it anymore. Yeah. Because it wasn't me reaching out. It was all on the community tagging them in every burn and tagging them in giveaways, being like, do something about this.
And
but
that's
like
everything.
It's like feed them.
We talked about and how what he brought, and the thing he mentioned was the community and how he wasn't a crypto bro and how he was here for basketball, etc. And that's what I think the future has to be if it's going to grow the direction we want it to grow, and especially engender and foster the kind of communities that we want to be a part of. what's the selling point of all this at the end of the day? Is it just the moments? What are the moments good for? Yeah, they're cool to look at, and that's great because I'm a basketball nerd. But what are we getting in addition to that? And I think, the community is definitely the start of that. Where does it go from there, though?
And maybe I should say it this way. Sometimes it seems like the folks that are overly critical get the response, get Top Shot to respond, right? That moves the needle for them when you've got a lot of people that really love it, are engaged, that should be the people that are moving the needle for them, and not the haters, if that's fair.
Well, like any news is news, right? Good or bad.
Right.
Media is media.
But why don't they run challenges for 50-point games and first buckets? I forgot to mention first buckets. That's such a cool thing that Top Shot does that differentiates it from traditional sports cards. Like a player's first NBA basket's pretty cool. Some of these guys had baskets in games they'll, never forget. So I just don't know why they never target those for burning. And it would just shut up guys, at least a little bit, like me, who say they're so out of touch with the actual basketball world or fandom, however you want to say it.
Yeah, and maybe that's a good way to say it. What I'm trying to say is that it feels a little bit out of touch with the folks that are really engaged in the community and the product. It's just, because, like I said, I think there's some advantages to where we are right now. That things have gotten a little more manageable as far as the collectors base or the number of collectors. I mean, let's say we have 5,000 to 7,000 in fast break. What does that mean for the pack drops this next year? I mean, I know they're wanting to make money, but if at some level you find a niche fan base, right? That's a cool product. It doesn't have to be the masses. It could be a really cool product for a really niche fan base, but maybe that's not the vision. Maybe
it's not, because I'm sorry to interrupt, Chris, but one of these guys or companies is going to get it right. There is a vision for digital basketball cards. It makes too much sense for people to just say it didn't work. People were critical of Top Shot. Let's not try that again. People will keep iterating until it sticks. And Top Shot, I'm pretty sure, wants to be the company that sticks. So,
and I'm not saying they couldn't be. I just say that's just the way I think about it. This is where we are today, and so why don't we be the best version of ourselves to this group that's really with us, and build that thing, right? But it's it always seems like we're acting like we're the thing we want to be instead of the thing that we are, right? I don't know. And maybe, again, I'm like you. I don't have
you make a good point, because we are in a better place now. You're right. I forget how you worded it, but I think you said we're more manageable or something. But we're in a better place. I'm sure we all remember where Top Shot, the main account, could not post on Twitter without some very critical replies underneath. There wouldn't be a single positive remark, not one. At one point, they even briefly made it so people couldn't reply. So I do think that the vibes, for a lack of better word, are better now.
It's a great word.
Yep.
The base has been unified a little bit, right? I mean, even in Top Shot Beta, it's funny. The inner group chat, some guys initially would say, "Oh, did you see this on Twitter?" And the other guy would say, "No, you blocked me." You know what I mean? We're a group of people. And the other guy would say, "Yeah, you blocked me too, by the way. I didn't want to say it, but, this is just the core group of guys." So I give Frampton credit for putting together people from kind of all walks of Top Shot, because that is how it worked. You asked me if I was the mastermind, I think is the way you worded it. And I told you I hopped on. Not only was I not the mastermind, but I kind of wish, like Nicole said, that I started participating earlier on. Because it's just easier than I thought it would be. But again, props to him for kind of just reaching out to different people to bring them together, even though we weren't all so friendly in the Twitter streets.
Things get
Love
better. Time heals all wounds.
That's what I'm
There's a
talking
nice
about.
little quote for you guys.
Is beta going to be the thing that heals this whole community? Is that
Could you
what's
imagine?
going to bring us all together? Is that
Beta.
It's going to have to be Top Shot first and foremost, and that's kind of why I'm always preaching about Series 1, because I just don't think that Top Shot can flourish without like having somewhat of an anchor or just more I don't know how to say this, but like Series 1 was such a big deal for a while.
Yeah.
And we also went over this last time briefly, Chris. I brought up the fact that like there's not really any demand now for anyone but like a Caitlin Clark or a Wemby or maybe some like sick LeBron. And I always saw like little silver linings in there, some cool stuff in those moments. I even posted the Vince Carter game-winning three and mentioned how Huerter kind of raises his arms. He doesn't know to celebrate or not because his team lost, but it's Carter's last shot. And people were like, oh, that's cool. Like, I never noticed that before.
Yeah.
But I think we need to get back to a point where Series 1 kind of means something. I don't want to go on a long Series 1 rant. Everybody knows how I feel about it already. I just find the chances to be slim and none that Top Shot itself could flourish, but like nobody cares about Series 1. Like if Top Shot's around in 10 years, then Series 1 will be very valuable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Series 1's still like, I mean, for me, I'd love to chase a Series 1 base set, but I get distracted with fast break needing rares and legendaries. Because for me, it's like, do I want to drop, what is it, like $800 to $1,000 on LeBron's Top Shot debut when that could buy me Anthony Edwards legendary that gives me 4 uses? I think they need to bring the utility into Series 1. Even if it's just like you hold the full Series 1 base set and you always get free base set packs down the road, or like make them like a elite set like Cool Cats. And I think like it would give so much potential to it.
I think so as well. And one of the reasons I'm still just buying so many of them, I think I've purchased just on Floaty alone this year, maybe like 400 Series 1 moments, is because they're $1 or $2. And that was the ultimate brag during Top Shot's glory days was, oh my God, I got these moments for $1, these Series 1 moments. And everybody would say, no, you didn't. One single dollar, you know, and yep, I got it for $1. And there were some accounts that would even buy other people's accounts, meaning they would get the moments for even less than $1. And that was the ultimate brag is I was in so early, I got this for $1. Okay, well, the prices for a lot of those moments are $1 now. And I understand what you're saying, Nicole. I don't own the entire set. I don't even own the LeBron that you mentioned. But I also get turned down $1 Disney bubble moments because they are actually collectible. There's people in masks. The courts say Black Lives Matter. I'm not being political. I'm just saying they date to a time and place nobody's ever going to forget, right? Like we were all waiting on pins and needles for some sports to come back.
Oh, yes.
The NBA that did it.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a time you'll never forget. Does the Lakers championship really count? There's a good debate for you guys on that one.
It's funny how LeBron won it that year and Brady won it in football. The COVID years, like the old timers, not the best of the best, really. Like, what does that prove? I don't know, but maybe something. I don't know.
You couldn't get in their head. They were like, it doesn't matter. We're in COVID times. You can't change my mentality.
Like, right. Seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, the opposite of is it a legit championship would be, is it not the most pure championship in NBA history because it was on a neutral court the whole way through?
Do that to me, Tork. I'm going to be thinking about this. I'm rent
free. Just throwing it out there.
And
I mean, it's a valid point. But then were they like really focused, or were they like, I miss my family and friends and I'm living in the Disney bubble buying $20 coffee off Jimmy
That's how the Clippers were. The Clippers were missing their family and friends. The Lakers were about their business.
Like, I don't know. Like, I guess that's where my head goes. Like, I mean, I know Raptors were complaining. They were like sleeping on like brutal mattresses. They were like the Tampa Bay Raptors. It was like the weirdest shit you ever saw.
That was weird.
Like that was odd time. Did we get robbed of a championship? That's my hot take.
No.
That would have been our year otherwise. I'm just going to start saying that to people. See if I can rile up all basketball fans.
You got robbed. It's a good, Matt, you bring up a good point. I wonder, like I was saying, like I have my collection and I'm still collecting and I buy stuff I like and I lock it, right? I don't sell anything. I may burn some stuff just for the community, but at some point, like you buy this stuff and you want it for yourself, right? You keep it. It's not this, I want to buy this and go watch it go up in value and sell it, right? And now trading's different, but trading cards, that idea, when, hey, you got a card I want, I got a card you want, let's trade them. Not how can I get rid of this and sell it real fast.
When we were kids, Chris, that's how it was. That's not how it is anymore.
I know that, but I'm saying at some point, like you're saying with TopShot or any other group or entity that hits this, there's going to be this thing people want to hold on to, not just want to liquidate. Right?
Of course, there's a mix of it though, right? Like I think in that regard, it is similar to sports cards. One of my biggest complaints about TopShot when I am critical of them is that now they seem to compare themselves against sports cards in a good way, where if someone makes a complaint, they will counter with, well, that's how it is in sports cards. But when TopShot came on the scene, it was all about disrupting the traditional sports card business.
Oh, okay.
So that tilts me a little bit. And of course, like there has to be more people like me and you that see little things, and all of us that see little things in these moments and want to hold them. Now, I also get a kick out of flipping cards because I think it's fun trying to trade up. And if you go to a card show, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a bunch of kids, also adults, and they're trying to sell. They're not reminiscing about the good old days, reading the statistics, like we said last time, off of the backs of the cards. Like it stopped being a hobby when the internet became a thing.
Right. No, but see, some of that's, I guess, how my trading or my collecting has changed. With the market, right? Like early on, it was easy to flip and trade up. Now it takes a lot. It's a lot more of a grind. The prices are lower, so that's just what I do. I'm watching I'm watching my wish list. I have an idea in my head what I'm willing to pay. It hits that number and I pay it. Like it's simple. So maybe that's part of it too. That just as the market changes, my kind of how I'm collecting and how I'm looking at it has changed for sure. Maybe that's everybody.
I mean, I think that's something I really love about floaty loans, and not because I got to mention floaty every time I'm on here, and I'm not a plant, but the floaty loans. The best part is, if you know your market and you know the moments you're watching, you can pick up a Steph Curry that is on loan for $300, and they're either going to give you in 30 days $20 in interest, or you end up with that Steph Curry legendary for $300. Right. That's what I like, is that it's an easier way to like collect moments and collect good moments, in my opinion, for like fast break and different things like that on a cheaper scale. Like I picked up like random legendaries that people defaulted on for $100, like a Jared Allen. Well, right now it's worth 140, but I'm not going to call it the flip, but I'm going to let that go for well over 200 come fast break season when people want them.
Yeah. Profit is profit.
Let me talk about floaty a little bit myself. I have not participated in the loan game, but I've purchased, I think I just looked at this, 1,500 moments from floaty this year. Now I've sold a lot, but still, that's pretty impressive. I've given them a lot of action. I cannot help myself with these asymmetric bets, meaning you can win a lot or lose a little. I can't help myself when I see these 4K debuts. Okay, so the recent archives, the ones from this year and last, had like around a 4 or a 5K like total supply size, but through burning, they're around 4K. I'm buying these things for a quarter. Yeah. So if they hit $2, that's an 8x. Like again, these are asymmetric bets. If my 22-cent debut of Gorgie Dang goes to 0, I lost 22 cents times however many shares I had. But again, the upside is who knows what for a debut that only has 3,000 copies or something. And I know people are watching this thinking to themselves, this guy Matt's insane. Nobody cares about a Gorgie Dang debut. I would just tell them that A, they don't know that, and B, if Top Shot does ever gain real world traction, the supply counts, I don't want to swear on here, but I could right now. They are really low. If people come. I mean, come on now. There's how many Wemby debuts? 3,500. Even Series 1. What's the most amount of people that can own a Series 1 set?
It's got to be like 1,300 or something like that. Isn't the lowest bit lower?
Of course, that's less because there's Nicole. There's
right?
had a maximum of 1,000 to start, and they've been
what is it?
Numbers 1,000.
It was
right?
It was the Westbrook moment. Wasn't it the Westbrook debut? Wasn't that the bottleneck? At least a few months ago, it was for like Series 1. It was like 800.
I knew it was low.
I didn't even know that. Wow. That's sharp. I like that.
He's on it.
So that's where my head's at. Talking about only 800 people ever can own Series 1. Okay, maybe things don't work out. Hey, we'll have at least still had some fun. I've never said that. I think that's the corniest thing to ever say. But at this point, it's finally true. We've been talking about this stuff for 4 years. I've actually made friends, as weird as that feels to say for a man like myself. Anyway, I digress. It's been a fun ride. My point is 800 people is nothing. And if things do work out, it's such a small number that no one will even give us credit for buying the S1s now. They're just going to say, well, of course you did. The risk reward was in your favor. You're telling me that only 800 people on God's green earth can ever own the Series 1 Top Shot set? Duh. Of course you bought it, Matt. You're not special and you're not smart. You were just in the right place at the right time. This is what people say when things go up 100x, 1,000x. And when they just sit, when prices stagger or decline for 3 years, they just say that's the dumbest thing of all time. You don't actually own anything. There's no there. What does that get you? Do you get paid each time someone watches the moment? My lawyer cousin always hits me with that. I'm going to punch him in the mouth next time he says that. Edit that part. Take that out. But
no, I like it.
This is a thing.
I love it. I love your perspective, Matt. I really do.
Whenever Matt talks about Series 1, I all of a sudden feel like I need to go buy Series 1 moments.
I agree. Same.
His tweets get me. And I actually got gifted an SGA debut for my birthday, which was on my wish list of Series 1. I thought of you.
Who sent that?
JJL Smith.
Wait a minute.
That's a $1,000 card, Nicole. I know right now it's around $115 or something, but no, that's a $1,000 moment.
I was like beyond stoked. He's like a hometown kid, so like his moments mean something to me. And Series 1, like I was like, this is pretty freaking unreal. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I would love to go after Series 1. I just think it's gonna take time for me because I'm way too focused on the utility right now, and I'm not collecting what I love per se, because I'm buying some guys who I'm just getting in my collection for utility purposes.
Yeah,
that's on me.
Good call, though. That's a good call.
Everyone collects differently, right? All our strategies are different. That's what's cool about Top Shot.
That's right.
What matters to me might not matter to Tork. Vice versa.
Tork, I'm sure you have the Luka
Not
series
true.
game winner, right, Tork? You have the game winner, the Luka from the bubble?
Oh, yeah. That's. I mean, I remember. See, the bubble was fun for me because I just moved to Denver, long time living in Texas. And so it was like Denver made their run. They got knocked out by the Lakers. And I watched with a bunch of Nuggets fans, and they got their hearts broken. But they watched the Luka shot against the Clippers. And that was just iconic. I mean, like for Luka to kind of start his career that way. It's in the playoffs, that is. And, of course, he's done it just a few more times since then. But that's, not my favorite one from the bubble, actually. I mean, I think the Anthony Davis bubble buzzer beater is probably my favorite. I mean, like that one's special for sure.
No doubt.
Yeah, it is.
All of them are definitely. I mean, I hate to cut us off because I feel like we could talk for hours, but like we're wrapping up. 3 Ball's gonna get mad at me if I don't wrap it up.
That's right.
You know, we can't say his name 3 times because then he shows up, guys.
That's
Just an FYI.
we don't want him to show up.
Yeah, he's gonna be watching this and coming for your treat.
That's right. I'm in trouble.
Matt, thank you so much for coming on the pod with us. I can't wait to see this as a number 2 episode or 1. Maybe you'll beat yourself out for top place, if that's even possible.
Maybe I'll give out some Top Shot beta. How do we do that? Because there's no comments. How can we give out beta to people that watched?
On the YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
Comment on YouTube and we'll get some beta to them. I love that idea.
So
maybe Treat will win it.
Every comment gets 50,000 beta for the first 40 comments, right? Because that would be 2 million beta. Right.
Let's go.
But you got to say something nice about Matt and one thing that you liked about what he said during the podcast.
No, you do not have to do that.
I like that. I like it.
You have to.
Yes. Toxic
beta.
positivity with Matt Roth.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
I appreciate you all for having me. We could go on for hours. I know I could. We could go on just about the bubble for hours. So I'll come back whenever you all will have me, and thanks again.
For sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Treat and Tork. Always a pleasure to be with you guys.
All right, good times.
Awesome.
Queso for King.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Queso.
King. Awesome. Tune in every Tuesday for a new episode of the Collectin and Connectin Pod. And if you want to rock some merch, check out our store at Shop Collectin and Connectin in the bio on this video. Thank you all for watching. See you next Tuesday.